On the morning of November 27th, 1810, around 5 AM, a knock came at the door of 54 Berners Street, a modest house just north of Oxford Street in Westminster, London. It was a chimney sweep, stating that he had been summoned to the address. The maid who answered the door informed him that no such service had been requested, and he was sent away. Moments later, another chimney sweep arrived with the same story, followed by another, until a total of 12 sweeps had been turned away by the increasingly frustrated maid. However, this was only the beginning of the chaos. Next, coal carts began arriving, each driver insisting they had a large order for 54 Berners Street, which Miss Tottenham, the homeowner, assured them she had never placed. Then came cake makers bringing elaborate wedding cakes, and soon after apothecaries, surgeons and lawyers descended upon the property, followed by vicars and priests who had been misled to believe that they were needed to administer to a dying resident. Meanwhile, a group of bewildered undertakers waited outside with custom-made coffins. The streets quickly became congested as more tradesmen arrived, including fishmongers, bootmakers, shoemakers, haberdashers, hatmakers and butchers' boys, along with a line of pianos and 6 stout men bearing an organ. As word spread, dignitaries also began to appear, including the Governor of the Bank of England, John Whitmore, the Duke of York, Prince Frederick, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Charles Manners Sutton, and the Lord Mayor of London, Joshua Smith. The narrow streets quickly became overwhelmed with a chaotic mix of people of all occupations and curious onlookers, leading to severe congestion. Deliveries and unexpected visits continued throughout the day, causing significant disruption and bringing much of London to a standstill well into the early evening. Every officer that could be mustered was enlisted to disperse the people, and they were placed at the corners of Berners Street to prevent tradespeople from advancing towards the house with goods. The street was not cleared at a late hour, as servants of every denomination wanting places began to assemble at 5 o'clock. It turned out that letters had been written to the different tradespeople which stated recommendations from persons of quality. A reward has been offered for the apprehension of the author of the criminal hoax. Across the street from 54 Berners Street, practical joker Theodore Edward Hook stood observing the chaos, while his friend English architect Samuel Beazley handed him a guinea. Hook had just won his audacious bet that within a week he could turn any house in London into the most talked about address in the city. Hook achieved this by sending out thousands of letters under the name of Miss Tottenham, the resident of 54 Berners Street, requesting deliveries, visits and assistance from tradesmen, professionals, dignitaries and others. The two friends spent the day watching the ensuing chaos as much of London was brought to a standstill. Despite a rigorous search for the culprit, Hook managed to avoid being caught, although many who knew him suspected his involvement. It was reported that Hook thought it wise to be laid up for a week or two before setting off on a country tour, supposedly to convalesce. Today, the site of 54 Berners Street is home to the Sanderson Hotel. This has been made Jack. If you ever send me a letter, please don't send thousands of them.